हरिः ओम् तत्सत्। ॐ गणानान्त्वा गणपतिगुं हवामहे कविं कवीनामुपमश्रवस्तमम् ज्येष्ठराजं ब्रह्मणां ब्रह्मणस्पत आनः शृण्वन्नोतिभिः सेदसादनम् प्रणो देवी सरस्वती वाजेभिर्वाजिनीवती धीनामवित्र्यवतु गणेशाय नमः सरस्वत्यै नमः श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ॐ हृदाकाशे सदा भान्तं शान्तमानन्दरूपिणम् ज्ञानभानुमहौ वन्दे सद्गुरुं सत्यसायिनम् ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः ॐ भद्रं कर्णेभिः शृणुयाम देवाः भद्रं पश्येमाक्षभिर्यजत्राः स्थिरैरङ्गैस्तुष्टुवागुंसस्तनूभिः व्यशेम देवहितं यदायुः स्वस्ति न इन्द्रो वृद्धश्रवाः स्वस्ति नः पूषा विश्ववेदाः स्वस्ति नस्तार्क्ष्यो अरिष्टनेमिः स्वस्ति नो बृहस्पतिर्दधातु केतवो अरुणाशश्च ऋषयो वातरशनाः प्रतिष्ठागुंशतधाहि समाहितासो सहस्रधायसम् शिवानश्यन्तमा भवन्तु दिव्या आप ओषधयः सुमृडीका सरस्वती माते व्योमसन्दृशी ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः ॐ यज्ञेश्वराय विद्महे येसुनाथाय धीमहि तन्नो त्यागी प्रचोदयात् ॐ यज्ञेश्वराय विद्महे येसुनाथाय धीमहि तन्नो त्यागी प्रचोदयात् ॐ यज्ञेश्वराय विद्महे येसुनाथाय धीमहि तन्नो त्यागी प्रचोदयात् Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Our Father, thou art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us for trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever and ever. Amen. Offering our collective love of the divine lotus feet of the Father and the Son, in the name of Jesus the Christ, may we all be together. May we all be nourished together. May we all work together with great vigor. May our studies shine and illumine our intellects. May we not conflict or contradict with each other. Let there be peace, peace, and peace. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Hari Om, Shalom, Sai Ram, Namaste. Last week we concluded Anuvakam number 21 with the Shanti mantras that we just chanted. Invoking the presence of Jesus the Christ, the immortal being that sacrifices his ego self on the cross to redeem the sins of the entire humanity on earth. In the name of that Jesus the Christ, we offer our love to the immortal one who represents, who we know as the Yagneshwara, the being that was created for yagna, the sacrifice. Yagneshwaraya vidmahe, Yesunathaya dhimahi. We meditate upon that being which is present in all as Isha, which in Hebrew is Esu. Tanno Tyagi Prachodayat. May we all cut across the ego and sacrifice it on the cross. To forgive ourselves first. Forgiveness is not about others, it's about yourself. Therefore, when this beautiful being who is called carrying the cross up the hill was whipped and people were spitting on him, he did not want any of that to get into himself. Therefore, he said, Father, please forgive them, for they do not know what they are doing. That's the supreme act of total self-awareness. Supreme act of total self-awareness. The life of Jesus is very hard for anyone to replicate, and do not even try to do that. We have to just revere the ideals that he has established as love and service and giving and forgiving, to uplift the awareness of everyone so that they are taken away from what they have committed as sins. So he would not even allow the thought that someone has committed sin to come into him. That's the purity of the being. That's the utmost pure being. And that purity and that auspiciousness, Shivana Shantama Bhavantu, Divya Apa Oshadhayaha, Samridika Saraswati, Mate Vyoma Sandrishi. These mantras are talking about that pure love in sacrifice. May that pure love be present with us to eternity. That divine love, Divya Apaha, divine love is the Oshadhi, the medicament for the universe. Divya Apa Oshadhayaha. Sumridika Saraswati Mate Vyoma Sandrishi. That which is flowing continuously, that love is flowing like river. Dance Shiva dance in our hearts, blow off the winds of desire. And when that love is flowing continuously, full, Mate Vyoma Sandrishi. May we not see any gaps in that love. It's unconditional and it is completely full and flowing with full gush. That is the love. And that love comes only in sacrifice and nothing else but that. And that sacrifice is yagna, not what we think as putting some homakunda and throwing some stuff in it without even understanding what we are doing. Every single thought offered in this awareness, the fire of awareness, jnanagni, that is the real yajna. That is the antar yajna. This outer yajna, the bahir yajna, is simply a ritual that is symbolic. And it doesn't mean anything more than that. Appeasing all gods and all of that stuff. Yeah, fine. How do you know? Have you appeased all the gods that are present within you? All the gods are present here only, in this body. Have you ever connected to the God that is seeing through your eyes, that's hearing through your ear, that's breathing through your nose, that's speaking through your mouth, that's feeling through your skin? Have you connected to those gods? And in the context of connecting to those, have you simply said, Thy will be done through me this day. Here I am, Lord. Use me, guide me, fill me, lead me. Have you ever said that in sacrifice? Have we ever said, please use my eyes for your work? Please use my ears for your work. Please use my speech for your work. That is the essence of yajna. Siva nashantama bhavantu. Divya apa oshadhayaha. Sumridika saraswati mate vyoma sandrishi. And that which is uninterrupted love that is flowing. And then we enter into this beautiful, one of the most beautiful anuvakams. Every anuvakam is very beautiful, but some are most commonly present in awareness. And this anuvakam starts with this beautiful aspect of not only connecting to this awareness of what this apaha is, but also connecting it to this beautiful yajna, ritual worship called Aruna Ketuka Yajna, Aruna Ketuka Chayana. So let's now, most of you know these mantras, I'm sure. And it starts with Yopam Pushpam Veda. This mantras, the set of these mantras are called mantra pushpam, chanted as part of mantra pushpam. Yopam pushpam veda pushpavan prajavan pashuman bhavati Chandrama apam pushpam pushpavan prajavan pashuman bhavati ya evam veda yopamayatana veda ayatanavan bhavati Agnirva apamayatanam ayatanavan bhavati yo ognirayatanau veda ayatanavan bhavati आपो वा अग्नेरायतनम् आयतनवान् भवति य एवं वेद योपामायतनौ वेद आयतनवान् भवति. Please chant one time until the everybody please chant along with Sham.
Om
Sri Sai Ishwaraya Namaha. I forgot that. My apologies.
Om Shri Sai Ishwaraya Namaha Harihi Om
Sri Sai Ishwaraya Namaha in Swara. Om Shri Sai Ishwaraya Namaha. Sri Sai Ishwaraya Namaha. Harihi Om. Harihi Om.
Shri Sai Ishwaraya Namaha Harihi Om Yopam pushpam veda pushpavan prajavan pashuman bhavati Chandrama va apam pushpam pushpavan prajavan pashuman bhavati ya evam veda yopamayatano veda ayatanavan bhavati agnirva
Agnirva Agnirva.
agnirva
No, sorry. What is happening there is the swara. Did we make a mistake? Agnirva apa. Okay, no, my mistake. Agnirva.
Agnirva apamayatanam ayatanavan bhavati yo agnerayatano veda ayatanavan bhavati apo va agnerayatanam ayatanavan bhavati ya evam veda yopamayatano veda ayatanavan bhavati.
This is very famous mantras. people chant like many without understanding what it actually means. Because if they actually look at what it means, it will be so confusing and they have no clue what this really means. Yaha apam pushpam veda. Yaha means he who. Apam pushpam veda knows the flower of the waters. Pushpam is flowers. Apam is waters. Veda means to know. The one who knows the flowers, the flower of waters. Pushpavan, Prajavan, Pashuman Bhavati. Then he will be blessed or bestowed with flowers, progeny, and cattle. Chandramava apam pushpam. The moon very much is the flower of the waters. Evam Veda. He knows thus. Yaha apam ayatanam bhavati. He knows the abode of these waters. Ayatanavan bhavati possesses that abode itself. Agnirva agnihi va apam ayatanam. The theme repeats. Agni very much is the abode of the waters. Yaha agnehe ayatanam veda. He knows the abode of this Agni. Repetition, same thing. He knows the flower of waters, becomes possessed of those flowers, progeny, cattle. The moon is verily that flower of the waters. He knows the abode of the waters, becomes possessed of an abode. Agni very much is the abode of the waters. He knows the abode of Agni, likewise becomes possessed of that abode. Okay. Is this making any sense to anyone? Huh? Is this making sense to anyone? Yeah, I think I shared this in several forums. There is a much deeper spiritual significance of these mantras. And I shared this on many forums. If you haven't heard that, for those who have already heard it, I don't want to bore you. This almost to the month, 20 years ago, the incredible Bhagavan Sri Satya Sai Baba's grace connected to this mantra pushpam as a multi-faith prayer. There is an article that Heart to Heart, at that time it's called Heart to Heart Radio site 20 years ago. They published an article about this that is also now available in Satya Sai Media Center. And I believe last year I did a webinar on this with Vedas for All. That video is also available. So you can, I request you to go back, read that article, also read that, review that webinar for much more elaborate description of what all of this. But here, only for the sake of completion, I'll briefly recap what that beautiful insight of Bhagavan Sri Sathya Sai Baba was. It all started happening in this incredible vision where Bhagavan was a flower. There was a flower with 5 petals, and in the center of that flower was Bhagavan Sri Sathya Sai Baba. And he asked me to start chanting these mantras. And then the rest of it is his story. Okay. Pushpa. This is a very famous word nowadays. What can I do? Pushpa. Very famous word. In the corrupted current awareness, after this famous movie, Pushpa now means wildfire, not a gentle flower. So forget that stupid awareness. Erase it. The word pushpa means several meanings of that word exist, but one of the meanings of that word is the essence. Push means the core, in the core sense, the root, the dhatu as they call it, is to nourish, to foster, the essence of thriving or flourishing, to make something grow, to bloom. All these applies physically to a flower, therefore the word pushpa. The essence of nourishment is a flower, because from the flower, the fruit comes. From the fruit, the vitality comes. Therefore, the root of nourishment is what is pushpa. So the essence of something is called pushpa. Similarly, the word apaha has several meanings. The colloquial meaning is water, but the dhatu, the root of the word apaha, is ap, not ap as in Hindi, you. That ap there means which pervades, which penetrates, to enter into position of all. Apnoti iti apaha. Apnoti, that which pervades, occupies. That word apnoti iti apaha also applies to atma. One of the meanings of the word atma. Atma is all pervading. Therefore, apnoti iti atmaha. I think recently in the study circle, I described the three meanings of what atma means. So here, that which pervades, penetrates, to enter into position of, all of that also applies to water as a physical substance. How water is physically present to nourish life, therefore it is called the web of life, isn't it? Similarly, water penetrates everything and it is all expansive as water vapor. Water, therefore, is called apaha, based on the characteristics of that substance. How incredible that is! Sanskritam is so incredible. You don't name something randomly. You name something based on its composition and its properties. Therefore, what will happen? We hear a word, just like in this English language where water, I don't know what is the root of the word water. Maybe I have to look it up. But here, that shabda, ap, applies to so many things which have the same characteristics. So love is all expansive. Love penetrates into everything. Love is the source of nourishment and sustenance. Therefore, apaha also means love. Pushpa means essence. So therefore, yo apam pushpam veda, the one who understands the essence of love, then the rest of the magic is happened. That is what Bhagavan Sri Sathya Baba did 20 years ago. He said, Bangaru, Pushpa means essence, Apaha means love. Don't read what is written in that book. At that time, there was a book, Veda Pushpanjali, some book like that. That's the meaning that is commonly written, explained by even Pandits, scholars, is waters, flowers of waters. So Bhagavan gave this Da Vinci code of the meaning. And then the magic happens. Substitute everywhere, apaha with love. Now, if I say everywhere, don't substitute everywhere. I mean, in this context, substitute that with that meaning. And then substitute essence for pushpa, substitute love for apaha. Then you read the meaning, yo apam pushpam veda, the one who knows the essence of love, pushpavan prajavan pashuman bhavati. By that love, he gets to possess not only the love, but also the everything related to material, physical prosperity and spiritual prosperity. Are we connecting to that now? Please show the meaning now. I will look at the pada. Yaha apam pushpam veda, the one who understands the essence of love. Pushpavan prajavan pashuman bhavati. By understanding that essence, they will not only become that essence, but they will also be possessed of that essence. Chandramava apam pushpam. Chandrama, the moon, is the essence of that love. Substitute the moon with symbolically, what does moon represent within us?
Mind.
Okay, everybody knows that. Mind. So therefore, when you substitute the Chandra, the mind with the moon with the mind, then we say the mind is the essence of love. Means mind is born in love. The one who knows that will be prosperous materially and spiritually. Ya evam veda, he knows, he who knows thus. Here, ya evam veda is like upasana. It's like upasana, practical application of it. Ya evam veda. Remember, we discussed that Veda can go up or Veda can go down. The swaras are different here. Swaras is upward, means outward, means in practice, externally. Yaha apam ayatanam Veda. He knows that mind as the abode of love, ayatanvan bhavati, becomes love itself. Now see how incredible the divine master is. When he says Vedas are for practical application, and when he made that statement, he did not make it randomly. He is the Veda Purusha himself. The Veda Purusha himself. Everything he speaks is Veda. Veda is not different than what he has spoken. 20 years ago, you can go back and look at archives anywhere. 20 years ago, no one explained the meaning of this mantra pushpam like this. 20 years ago. Go check it. I'm not, there's no hyperbole here. Why he did that, I will tell you. Because at the time, in 2006, we were going on a pilgrimage to Puttaparthi. I was the center president at that time. And then we were all learning this mantra pushpam. And then the idea was to chant mantra pushpam in Prashanti Nilayam. So when I made the announcement in the center, I said, we will all learn mantra pushpam as a multi-faith prayer. When I came home, my wife asked me, you announced like that in the center. What do you mean by mantra pushpam as multi-faith prayer? Do you know what you're talking? I did not even realize that I said that. I said, oh, really? Did I say that? Oh my God, I made a mistake. So I have to apologize to Bhagwan. And that night, I went and put my head on Swami's feet and I said, I made a mistake. But then I also told him, Swami, when you are sitting in the chair, every word that is spoken has to be truth only. Every word that is to be spoken in front of you And I'll tell you, that's the vision. He first came in the vision, very beautiful. It was a flower, and center of it was Bhagavan Sri Sat Sai Baba. And then first thing he said, yes, Bangaru, you are right. Mantra Pushpam is a multi-faith prayer. I was even more shocked. I said, oh my God, Swami, how is that Mantra Pushpam multi-faith prayer? And he said, chant. I was chanting. Agnir Agnirva apamayatanam ayatanavan bhavati. As I was chanting that, the fire popped up in one of the petals. And in the background, there was this Zoroastrian prayer. Mazda atmoye vahishta sravavacho sodhna cha vavocha dato vahu manangaha ashacha ishude ratuto shraddha ka kshama. This mantra was coming of Zoroastrianism. Then Swami said, what is commonly written as the meaning of these words is this. And then he said, Agni here represents the symbol of sacrificial fire. And that sacrifice associated with offering all into that yagna and emerging great, grand, and holy. And that sacrifice very much is the abode of love. And he who knows the abode of that sacrificial fire likewise becomes the abode of sacrifice itself. So this mantra, Agnirva apamayatanam ayatanavan bhavati yognerayatanam veda ayatanavan bhavati, represents Zoroastrianism with fire as the primary altar. So now you can put aside all your fanaticism that Vedas belong to Hindus. Throw that into sacrificial fire. Emerge great, grand, and holy. To know that these mantras do not represent any religion whatsoever. In fact, all religions are in these mantras. And these mantras do not belong to Hindus. They belong to humanity. Every human being who knows this essence will emerge great, grand, and holy. Okay, chant the next set of mantras. Vayurva apamayatanam ayatanavan bhavati yo vayorayatanam veda ayatanavan bhavati apo vai vayorayatanam ayatanavan bhavati ya evam veda yopamayatanav veda ayatanavan bhavati.
Om Vayurva apamayatanam ayatanavan bhavati yo vayorayatanam veda
Yo vayorayatanam veda
yo vayorayatanam veda ayatanavan bhavati apo vai vayorayatanam ayatanavan bhavati ya evam veda yopamayatanav veda ayatanavan bhavati.
Very good. Now you explain the meaning. Same principle applies. So go line by line. Vayuhu va apa mayatanam. Vayu. Okay, I will do one more so that you get used to what is the meaning of this. That is the exercise we are doing. I've never taught mantra pushpam like this. Vayuhu va apam ayatanam. Vayu is very much the abode of love. Right? That is what Vayuhu va apam ayatanam. Ayatanavan bhavati. Yaha Vayuhu ayatanam veda ayatanavan bhavati. Vayu very much is the abode of love, and he who knows this abode of the love likewise becomes the abode itself in prosperity, both materially and that applies only to the first mantra. Pushpavan, Prajavan, Pashman doesn't repeat. Ayatanavan bhavati becomes the abode itself. Yaha Vayuhu ayatanam. So Vayu represents what? Vayu symbolically is the life force, the prana of the individual. We have studied a whole set of mantras in this Aruna Prashna about prana. Who is the Rishi for those mantras?
Shavashva.
Shyavashva. Very good, because his lineage is Shyavashva. One of his rishis is Shyava. He better know. That is Chandrasekhar Ganesha. Atreya Gotram, one of the rishis is Shyavashva. So that is all the Pranopasana mantras. So therefore, here it is condensing that the prana, the abode of prana is love. Without love, prana doesn't exist. And so this whole aspect about prana, the life force, that is the upasana of early Chinese philosophers. What is that fellow's name? I believe it is Mencius. May be saying the word wrong, but Mencius, 300 BCE, introduced this phenomenon called chi. Don't confuse it with Tai Chi and all of that stuff. Bikram yoga doesn't mean pranopasana. It's sweating like crazy. It's not yoga, it is roga. So don't take this Tai Chi and all these things associated with the philosophy of Chi, which is prana as the spiritual force. That is what is adapted by some sects of Buddhism, including one of the most popular nowadays called Vipassana. And another guy started Shvasameda Dhyasa. Everybody picks up their own favorite. Nothing wrong about it. I'm not saying anything is wrong there. Vipassana is all about focusing on prana, the breath as the life force. And that life force, the prana, is based, the abode of it is love. And the one who knows this prana as the abode of love, ayatanavan bhavati, will be possessing that love, the prana as the life, the life force as the love. You understand now how beautifully it is connecting, everything relating back to that love, that everything is based in love. Love is the abode of that. Next is the asavai tapannapamayatanam. Isn't that the next one? Yes. Asavai tapannapamayatanam ajatanavan bhavati yo mushyatapata ayatanam veda ajatanavan bhavati apova amushyatapata ajatanam. Ajatanavan bhavati. Did I off the scale now? Om ya evam veda yopamayatana veda ayatanavan bhavati.
Asau vai tapannapa.
Asau vai. Read it. Asau vai.
The swaras, they make it flat. The second.
No.
Asau. Oh.
Asau vai.
Oh.
That's what I'm chanting.
Hmm.
Asau vai.
Asau vai tapan.
Okay. Grounded in Udatta, please. Om.
Om. Asau vai tapannapamayatanam. Ayatanavan bhavati. Yo mushyatapata ayatanau veda ayatanavan bhavati apo va amushyatapata
Na. Amushya tapata swaras. Apova amushyatapata ajatanam.
apo va amushyatapata ayatanam ayatanavan bhavati.
Ayatana. You're saying Ayatanavan Bhavati. A is flat, but the I is down. Ayatanava. See, now what happens is we have been chanting these mantras so incorrectly all this time. Suddenly, the swaras are in front of you. The mind doesn't want to see those swaras. It wants to do what it thinks it knows. 99% of the people are chanting these mantras with swaras incorrectly because they know the words and it is repetition. And therefore, they are just repeating everything the same way without paying attention to swaras. Okay. Apova amushyatapata ayatanam, which is ayatanavan bhavati. So other mistake people don't do is that yopam so evam, they don't give the slight pause there. Ya evam veda, they're chanting. Ya evam ve, that is incorrect, no? Ya evam veda. Everywhere, that is how the evam veda is, because it is upasana related. Yeah, evam Vedam. And then yopa. Yopa, yo, they don't put swaritam. Yopa, they don't, nobody chants yopa. What they say? Yopa mayat. So you have to pay attention to the swaras. Starts with apo. Asavai tapannapa mayatanam. Yes, one more time. Om.
As from Asawai.
Asavai tapannapa. Yes.
Om Asau vai tapannapamayatanam ayatanavan bhavati yo mushyatapata ayatanau veda ayatanavan bhavati apo va amushyatapata ayatanam ayatanavan bhavati ya evam veda yopamayatano veda ayatanavan bhavati.
So apply the meaning.
Okay. Asau, I'm not sure what this Asau Vai Tapan. This I don't know what this means.
See, that is exactly the who is Asau in context of what we chant in Rudram. Who is Asau referred to?
Sun god.
You don't need to say sun god. Sun is God only. No need to say sun god. Sun is. Where is the mantra with respect to that?
First namakam.
Which mantra in Namakam? Which number? Which ruk? Which ruk?
Asau yastamro arunautabab.
What is the number? What is the number?
I think
Sixth
first
one.
number 7 or 8. 7 or 8.
Okay,
Seventh.
don't guess, ma. Don't guess. Please don't guess. Yes. Who knows the correct answer?
6th and 7th.
6th is Adhyavachita Dhivakta. 7th is Asavyastamro Arunavatabhabhru Sumangala. Ah, Baji, you disappointed me today. Okay. you Asavyastamro Arunavatabhabhru Sumangala is the 7th mantra. 8th mantra is Asavyo Vasarpati Nilagrivo Vilohitaha. So this is sadhana. This is sadhana. So Asav means referring to that. Asavai tapannaha. That which makes you annihilated means tapanna. Tapana. In Sanskritam, in Telugu, there is a word called tapana. What is tapana? Huh? Tapana. From that word tapana came tapas. Tapas. Tapanna, tapas. Asavai tapannaha. That which scorches or annihilates all your, what is tapas? Annihilation of senses. That is what tapas actually means. Huh? Annihilation of senses means controlling the senses. Your stupid body language, your words, all those things. When you have no control over those things, then you are actually not in tapas. Those that are in tapas are aware of every sensual feeling. So who's the basis of annihilation of all those, including the root of all those sensual, this thing is ego. So when that ego is eliminated, and that elimination of that ego, who sacrificed the ego? Ayyo Rama, it is Easter
Jesus
after
Christ?
Good Friday.
Jesus
Yes.
the Christ.
Yesterday only he did that. No, yeah. I was hoping the Christians will jump and say, Jesus the Christ. They're all very silent listening to this. So here, sacrifice of the ego. The basis, the root of sacrifice of the ego is love. Asavvai tapanna ayatanam. Tapanna asavvai tapannaha. What are the words? Let's look at the words. Asavvai tapanna apam ayatanam. Ayatanam is the root or the abode of Asavvai tapan, sacrifice of the ego or the annihilating sun, is apam, is love. Because of love, Jesus sacrificed himself on the cross. You understand that? The root of his sacrifice of the ego on the cross is associated with the upliftment of the entire humanity that was getting drowned. He took upon the karmic burden. What a beautiful coincidence of this mantra associated with Good Friday and the Easter Sunday. Asavai tapanna pamayatanam ayatanavan bhakti. The one who sacrifices himself becomes that love itself. Yaha amushya tapataha ayatanam veda ayatanavan bhavati. Asavai tapannaha, that which burns, verily is the abode of love, and he who knows that abode of that which is sacrificed in love becomes the love itself. So this represents the cross on which the ego is sacrificed. And the word tapannaha, tapas, means that which is sacrificed. Sacrifice of the ego is born from love. If you are love, you will not have ego. In fact, you will sacrifice your ego for the sake of love. There is no I feeling whatsoever. Bhagavan's life, in fact, shows what an incredible, pure love it is, that it would not hesitate itself to sacrifice. How it does that? Taking upon the diseases of others upon himself. You go read Satyam Shivam Sundaram. How many troubles, the problems, the afflictions, the diseases, karmic burdens of others he has taken upon himself, which is the exemplary act of Jesus the Christ. Any Mahatma will do that only. Swami, I'm getting a heart attack tomorrow. Just you give it to me and you be happy. That is pure love. It doesn't have any ego whatsoever. Somebody pokes, hurts, does all that kind of things, whips you, spits on you, because there is no ego whatsoever. There is no heart. Please know this. This is a very important practical spiritual principle in life. If you get psychologically hurt, that means you have ego. If you feel psychologically ashamed, intimidated, then that means you have ego. This is very important to understand. Hurt does not come without ego. Psychological hurt. I'm not talking about physical hurt. Physical hurt, you have to protect yourself. Oh, he hurt my feelings, he hurt my feelings. Nobody can hurt your feelings. Only you can hurt your feelings. Therefore, nobody could hurt Jesus the Christ. In fact, he said, forgive them because they don't know what they're doing. What does that statement mean? What does that statement mean? Forgive them because they don't know what they do. What does that statement mean? How do we understand that? I asked this question of a bishop. He had no idea. He had no idea. I asked then the question to Bhagavan. I said, I should stop asking this priest. Go to the Lord himself to ask. And then Bhagavan said, even that statement of Jesus was supreme love, because when you are inflicting pain on others, and if that person does not accept it, it will come back to you and it will hurt you more than what you have done to the other person. Therefore, for their own sake, he is telling, please forgive them, because they will get hurt more. They're trying to hurt the one who doesn't have ego. You will get hurt much more. That's what is called pratyangira. It will come back and eliminate you. Eliminate you. Don't play with those mantras. You need to have supreme awareness to be able to even use bad words about others. And if they do not accept those words because they don't have ego, then what will happen to all those words will come back to you, and you will have to face the karmic burden million times more than what you tried to do to them. That is what Jesus is saying. Forgive them because they do not know what they are doing. They really do not know. They are thinking that they are hurting me physically. But that ego is not there to be even physically hurt. He had pain, but he had no suffering. So therefore, that pure being, asavaita parnapa mayatanam, that level of lack of ego comes out of pure love, ayatanavan bhavati, and they become the love itself. Yaha amushyatapata ayatanam veda ayatanavan bhavati. What these supreme mantras. We are all chanting these mantras. So now we covered, and by the way, keep in mind, as this thing was happening, first Zoroastrianism popped up, then Christianity popped up. Next one, let's go to the Chandramava Apamayatanam. Chandramava Apamayatanam Ayatanavan Bhavati Yaschandramasa Ajatanau Veda Ayatanavan Bhavati Apo Vai Chandramasa Ayatanam Ayatanavan Bhavati Ya Evam Veda Yopamayatanav Veda Ayatanavan Bhavati.
Om Chandramava Apamayatanam Ayatanavan Bhavati Yaschandramasa Ayatano Yaschandramasa Ayatano Veda Ayatanavan Bhavati Apo Vai Chandramasa Ayatanam Ayatanavan Bhavati Ya Evam Veda Yopamayatano Veda Ayatanavan Bhavati.
Okay, now you can tell the meaning of this. You know what this means?
The moon is in love. The moon
Ayatanam, the abode
the abode
of
the moon is love. Bhavati, and that the person, that one who knows, the one who knows
the abode of moon.
the abode of the moon, that is
Ayatanavan
his
bhavati.
abode. That is his abode.
Ah.
Becomes his abode. And then this is not easy.
Go back and do that exercise.
Yeah.
This is the homework for all of you next week. First, chant this mantra pushpam without seeing the script, because you know it by heart. And then have the script in front of you to figure out how many mistakes you are making in chanting this mantra pushpam. Next level, you have the Padapata. Write down in parenthesis with each of the word what it means and construct the syntax and understand the meaning of this. This will become a beautiful exercise. I'm not preaching. I am telling you with what Swami had made me do the homework with this. By the way, with each of these, what he has done is he also given the chant of that religion associated with that Christianity, Kyrie eleison, sing hallelujah. We have done this as a multi-faith offerings to Swami in Akhand Bhajan in many places. It's a beautiful spiritual experience. That mantram, the hymn associated with that religion, then a song or a bhajan associated with that religion becomes a complete construct of a beautiful offering of mantra pushpam, the essence of mantras, essence of all faiths. So here, Chandra is repeated, no? Because the first mantra started with Chandra only. You forgot about it already? How did the mantra pushpam start? Chandrama va apam pushpam pushpavan prajavan pashuman bhavati. So there, the mind that knows the essence of love, that's the knowing mind. Here is the annihilated mind. That's the mind that knows. This is the mind that is in source. There it knows, here in source. When it is in source, that mind is like a crescent moon, thin line moon. It's not the moon that is full moon. Mindfulness, mindlessness. Here, it doesn't even have full thought. It is just a thoughtless mind that is completely in its lowest form. Like what? What is that symbol present? Hello, Hindus, come and speak up. Where is that mind
Muslims,
present?
Muslim.
No, I am asking Hindus, not Muslims.
Head of Shiva.
Lalita.
Head of Shiva, yes. Or head of Shiva. Either Shiva or Shiva. And that crescent moon, now in the center of it shows the star. And the star represents supreme awareness. And this is the annihilated mind. That is Allahu, Allahu, Allahu. If you listen to that song, it will explain what it is, Allahu. Not Allahu as a WHO. Not that who. This is a who is a Maha Mantram, like Hum. Hum. That's what the Sufis were invoking and say who, Hak, who. What the ignorant people know about other religions to criticize this religion is bad, that religion is. No religion is bad. No great scripture of any religion is bad. It's the people's minds that got fanaticized, whether it is Vaishnavites, Shaivites, Shaktites, whatever, Saiites, now Saiites. Now there are fanatism people called Saiites. They want to promote Sai as this thing. What is this nonsense? It's fanaticism. Don't become a lunatic and a fanatic. If you lose the lunaticism, then you will really see the greatness of God. And that is what is called Allahu Akbar. 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 See the greatness of Allah. And that Allah is the greatest. La ilaha illallah, Allah, Allah. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Kulahu Allahu Ahad, Allahu Samad. Lam yalid, walam yulad. Walam yakullahu kufawan ahad. The who, whom, annihilates the mind. Hum kara bihata. So when the hum is said, endless thoughts all vanished. And when that endless thoughts all vanished because of the hum, Allahu, Allahu, Allahu. You say Allah, and then followed by this invocation of the Shabda, the vibration. The vibration annihilates the mind. And when that mind is annihilated, you will see the glory of God in fullness. But to know the glory of the God, only a little bit of mind has to be left. Just a little bit of thought. Otherwise, it won't know. And that's the significance of that crescent moon. Chandramava apamayatanam ayatanavan bhavati yash chandramasa ayatanam veda ayatanavan bhavati. We'll pause there, and the rest of the mantra we will look at it tomorrow. It's even more beautiful. To the disappointment of all the Hindus, there is no Hinduism mentioned in mantra pushpam. We'll come to that. So far we have covered Zoroastrianism, Prana as Upasana, Pranopasana, Vayu. Then we covered Asavaitapannaha, which is associated with sacrifice of the ego, Christianity, and then Chandramava Apamaitaram with the Islam as the religion symbol representing how many? 3 of the 5 petals have been filled. Now 3 more to come. They'll come tomorrow. Only 2 more to come tomorrow. Jai Sai Ram. Okay.
Sairam uncle, I have a question about incantation.
Questions after. Yadakshara pada bhrashtam.
Sir.
Shama, please chant.
ॐ यदक्षरपदभ्रष्टं मात्राहीनं तु यद्भवेत् तत्सर्वं क्षम्यतां देवनारायण नमोऽस्तु ते विसर्गबिन्दुमात्राणि पदपादाक्षराणि च न्यूनानि चातिरिक्तानि क्षमस्व साईश्वर अपराधसहस्राणि क्रियन्ते हर्निशं मया दासोऽयमिति मां मत्वा क्षमस्व साईश्वर अन्यथा शरणं नास्ति त्वमेव शरणं मम तस्मात् कारुण्यभावेन रक्ष रक्ष साईश्वर हरिः ॐ तत्सत् श्री साईश्वरार्पणमस्तु.
Okay, so there is a comment that is posted on YouTube. Islam has been largely exposed how Allah was used as a pretext to perpetrate unspeakable harm and pain to humanity. I am sorry, it's not just the Islam. Christianity also inflicted a lot of pain and suffering on so many countries. Go ask all our South American friends from Peru, from other countries, how Christianity went, the missionaries destroyed those religions mercilessly. So did Vaishnavites, converting millions of people into Vaishnava to become Vaishnavites and subjecting torture on other religions. So did Shaivites. So every fanatic, lunatic mind, because of these religions, has inflicted pain on others. So do not be a lunatic about your own religion. Do not be a lunatic about your own faith. And if you truly follow the dharma of your faith, you will be a true Muslim, a true Christian, a true Hindu. Hinduism has done similar atrocities against other religions. They probably a little less than others because they have to only fight amongst themselves. They didn't have time to fight with others, like Vaishnavites fighting with Shaivites. Sai Ram. I'm not trying to, the whole point is being missed. You should not interpret prophecy and associate it with the prophet. Most of the prophets, including the priests, are corrupt because they want to use religion to exploit others, not to propagate love. And therefore, Sarva Dharma Priya Deva, Satyasai Deva, he only said he didn't come to preach any religion or any doctrine of any faith, about any faith or about himself as the faith. He said, just be who you are, but know that when you know who you are, you will know others automatically. When you don't know who you are, you will inflict pain on others. Only those who love themselves can love others. Those who do not love themselves will inflict pain on others. This is a simple truth. If you speak harshly of others, you don't respect your own self. If you respect your own self, you won't inflict pain on others. Sairam, yes, Shalini, I was thinking about you the other day. Okay, you're back with a question.
Sairam, uncle. Yes, uncle.
Oh.
Uncle, mantra 79. I was just looking into the mantra pushpam book also, uncle. I just wanted to confirm if the swara was right on it, uncle. Yo vayo rayata nam veda. So nam has a anudata in the mantra pushpam book.
Okay, we'll look into that now. Yo vayo rajata now veda. That's how it has to be. Yo, okay, show it. Where is it? Yo vayo rajata number 79. Just go, yeah. Yo up. Yo vayo rajata now ve rajata now veda. Okay, that nam has to be down. Is that what you're saying? Yeah.
Yes, uncle.
Yeah, that's
and
it. Yeah.
Also at mantra 81, Yash Chandramasa Ayata Nam Veda. Sorry.
Yes, Chandramasa Ajatanam. Yeah, Ayatanam. Now should be down. Okay, Chandrasekhara, please correct her. Please. We'll make those corrections.
Yeah, yes, sir.
Thank you for noticing. Yes. Okay. Right. Okay. Are there any other questions? Comments? Okay. Let's close. There are no more questions. Let's close.
Saram, brother, I just wanted a comment. Bruce Lee says, "Be water, my friend." So, water. Bruce Lee.
Who? Bruce Lee. Another
Bruce
religion.
Lee, the fighter.
Okay.
The fighter.
Oh, the fighter. Okay. What did he say? Fight with others.
No. He says, "Be water, my friend." So the quality of the water is also the way it is. It is like going in flow with what we say. Water is love.
Yeah.
So the way we call it, the water flows and makes his way around, and all those qualities. Just an observation, just a comment.
Very good. Follow Bruce Lee. Be like water. Just be so.
Thank you.
Make your body as flexible as water, like Bruce Lee. Then you can fight with anybody very easily. Sairam. Yes, he's a very good inspiration for others. Yes. Nice. Okay. Anybody, any others favorites quotes? Please tell them today so that you're all fully love. Everything points down to only that only. Called love. That's why Bhagavan said the end of wisdom is love. The end of wisdom is love. And there is nothing more than that in this universe. How much beautifully he has expressed that in so many different ways. Sairam. Om Swastif Prajabhyah Paripalayam Nyayena Margena Mahim Mahishah Go Brahmanebhyah Shubhamastu Nityam Samastalokaah Sukhino Bhavantu Samastalokaah Sukhino Bhavantu समस्तलोकाः सुखिनो भवन्तु। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। जय बोलो भगवान श्री सत्य